don't believe that money is everything that makes a person happy. I mean, it does handle a lot of materialistic finances and materialistic things that you're able to buy to make you happy for a short period of time. But when it comes to family and love, I don't think that can ever be replaced. So for us to be able to come down here for the Super Bowl, able to bring our families with us and have a good time and let them experience what we experience, man, it's just some of the little things that we're able to give back, knowing that a lot of this takes up our time. I'm sorry. Uh, it was probably maybe June, something like that. It was sometime in the summertime. My mom fixed a great dinner, and she brought her friends over, and they came over and ate. And like I said, man, it's as if for all the parents that's out here listening, it's just certain things that you can tell your kids at certain ages. And I thought that at my daughter, she was 17, 18. I'm sorry, she was 18 at the time. I think there was some things that she needed to know, like some of the things that has went on in my life, some of the things that I had to sacrifice to get them where they are. So it was just it was just an experience that hopefully bringing the Super Bowl home I'll never forget.
Randy, what did you share with your teammates about this week? How to handle the Super Bowl week? What did you share with them?
Man, I already said that. Where you been?
Some other question.
All right, no problem. I just enjoy the moment. Just enjoy the moment. Stay focused and keep it businesslike because you can easily get caught up with, especially being here in New Orleans with the Mardi Gras going on, the people in the streets. You can easily get caught up with losing your focus. And we got a young group of guys, and they're a great group that loves the work. And not to get carried away from our main focus, and that's to come down here and win a Super Bowl.
If you could have one word to describe your coach, Jim Harbaugh, what word would it be?
A coach.
You can play with a lot of quarterbacks from Cunningham to Brady. Who would you rank Collins along that line?
I've never have really ranked them. I think that just for what me and Tom Brady accomplished in '07, will put him at the top just because trying to be undefeated, coming to the Super Bowl. But I can't really rank Kaepernick because he came in mid-season. It was Alex Smith's team, and Cap took over. All I can say about Cap, man, is I'm happy to play with him. I wish he would take some of the heat off them balls sometimes, but I think that his future is very bright, and um, he asked me. I think it was either him or Frank Gore asked me. He said, "Moss, how long do you think this pistol offense will work?" I said, "Man, as long as you keep doing what you're doing, it'll go as far as you'll take it." So, I'm a big fan of Kaepernick's, and I told him, and he'll tell you this. Back in I can't remember, it could have been April, could have been May, and I seen something in him, and I just pulled him to the side, had a few words with him. I'm not going to share, what we were talking about, but I just seen something in him. I mean, he's very athletic, and just seeing his focus and his determination to go out there and lead the offense up and down that field, like the Atlanta game, is something that, it's what you want to see in your quarterback. And, Alex Smith, I'm not taking anything from Alex Smith because I watched him and I don't really think that he had in his career, Alex had a fair chance because he could never, get a coaching staff or offense to really grasp and learn in each and every year. It was always an offense this year, another offense that year, and then the following year, another offense. So, Alex Smith can still play this game. He really can. He can still play the game. He's still throwing the ball in practice. But, when it comes to sports, I think you take advantage of your opportunities. And, one thing that Cap did is he took advantage of his opportunity. He's a blessed man, blessed young man. And, not just this year. I just look for big things coming out of Kaepernick.
Randy, a lot of young talent in your team. For example, Vernon Davis just said a couple of days ago, he used to play with you video games when you were a vertical threat. Do you feel special responsibility towards the young guys looking forward to Super Bowl Sunday?
Now, my responsibility is to really just try to lead. Excuse me. I think I just try to lead and just going out there just showing them, how professional's supposed to work. Um, just by early in my career, I looked at, Chris Carter, Randall McDaniels, uh, Randall Cunningham, John Randall, just seeing how a professional's supposed to work each and every day. And that's something that I thought I knew how to work, but then I went up to New England and ran into Kevin Falk. And me and Kevin Falk got a little bit of history together because we came out the same year in high school. We was on the same All-American team, and I said, man, this is really how y'all work? So, like I said, I thought I knew how to work. I was working out in the mornings, doing this and doing that, but he took it took it an extra mile. Yeah, he took it to the next level. So, like what I've learned and what I've experienced and what the guys like the Falks and the John Randalls and the Carters have taught me, I think it's my duty, man, to be able to give it back. And like I said, I've always wanted to make the NFL better because there's different topics, good and bad, that comes up every day about the NFL. And as you know now, they're talking about concussions and, trying to take players' safety downward instead of upward. I think that, I think it's my duty to just do whatever I can to give back to the league to make it better.
Any example of how you're taking your team to the next level, responsibility-wise?
I just think my work ethic and my preparation each and every day. I don't do anything different. Probably the last 5 or 6 years, I've always taken the approach to make sure I do everything that I need to do in the morning, because once you sit in the classroom all day and jot down your notes, look at film, and go out to practice, man, I think I'm so mentally and physically drained that I can't go lift another weight. And there's a lot of guys that can vouch for this. Once that evening meeting come after practice, a lot of guys are tired. A lot of guys do doze off, but not in Coach Harbaugh meetings. He'll call you outside and want to talk to you for a minute. Now, what's said, I really don't know. I haven't been caught yet, so hopefully, like I say, I'll be able to hold strong this week. All right. I don't really, to be honest with you, the memories that I have in New England are just something I hold dear to my heart because of what we accomplished. But I'm trying to do something here special in San Francisco too. So I don't want to sit up here and talk about the Patriots because the Patriots is the past. I'm living in the present, and like I said, is not hard to get what we did because we did some great things up there. But I think being here as the 49ers and the organization giving me an opportunity to come back to this game is something that I wanted to do, and I just want to go out here and just play football. I mean, I know in a couple of days that this stadium is going to be full of cameras, full of people from 49ers and Ravens fans, and like I said, the atmosphere is going to be crazy. So it's something that I look forward to, and hopefully I'll step up for the moment. I'm sorry? Because I don't live I live for myself. And you know the thing about the media is that everything is not said, and the truth is not always told. So I grew up just respecting myself. I do respect other people, but when it comes to the pen and pad that you guys are writing on right now, man, it's just, I mean, you got a job to do, and you got papers to sell. And like I've always said, I've never you know um, come off negative. I think that a lot of people see my focus. And like I said, man, I don't like anything that comes outside of football when it comes to sports. I love the game. I love to play in between the white lines because it's like a kid at school. And I've said this before. It's like a kid at school when you're sitting in the classroom and then the teacher says it's recess and that door opens and all the kids just go just running and screaming, just jumping on swing sets and swinging and stuff like that. Well, that's how I kind of treat the football field because we're clammed up all week. We have to do the interviews and things like that, and then once the kickoff, it's just like you're opening that door. So I feel that this time when not this time, but any time that I step on the field, that's when I feel free that I can, do anything I want, act any way I want because you're having fun and it's all a game. It's just like me and you sitting down playing a game of Monopoly. It's just a game, but I love to compete and I keep it dear to my heart. No, because that's not me. I'm not a celebrator. I love to do my work and go home. Um, You know, a lot of people see me out there in public, man. I've always wanted to be normal. And, from my whole life from elementary school all the way up to now, I've been a big fan of Michael Jackson's. I really was. Everybody grew up, in the era I grew up in was a big fan of Michael Jackson. And I remember, I think it was his sister or his brother, one of the two, just saying that Michael always just wanted to be normal. And I'm not putting myself on Michael Jackson's pedestal, but I kind of understood where they were coming from. I always wanted to be able to go to the park and play a game or go shopping or go to the grocery store. But like I said, man, I've always wanted to be normal. When people see me and they're overwhelmed that they're meeting me for the first time, I just try to let them know and understand, man, I'm normal. I just want to be a normal person. And hopefully one day, I don't know if I ever get to do that, but one day, hopefully all of this would just die down, man, where I could just live my life and just go play a pickup game or go to the grocery store and everything just be normal. Man, Moss TV, I think that it was something for the fans. I think one of y'all just asked me, like, I a friend of mine told me that I've never really given back to the fans, and I think that when I started Moss TV, that was just a way of my fans being able to interact with me, ask questions and things like that, and feel like that we're face to face. I couldn't see them, but they could see me, and I could see their questions. So I think that was just my way of just giving back to the fans. But I know there's some true Moss fans out there, and I mess with them every day on Twitter. And my little slogan is "My comeback is our comeback," and I really do believe that because I do know there's some true fans out in the world that really loves me for who I am, and I really thank them for that. And what I'm able to give back is what I do on Sundays, and like I said, I look forward to a good game this Sunday. What I'm going to do after football? Uh, I think if I do any type of coaching, I would like for it to be on the high school level. Um, I just said earlier when I started this interview out that the collegiate level and professional level takes up a lot of your time, and I think that being able to go to high school is where you're on the verge of thinking you're something and you might not be, or you might not be, but you could be something. And my experience throughout my whole life, I think that's where I'm able to impact and give back the most is probably on the high school level. So if I could do any type of coaching, to be on the high school level. But I just want to love my family and do a little fishing. That's about it. What is catfished? No, I don't think. If I did have an imaginary girlfriend, I never told anybody about it. So, well, I think that speaking of the linebacker from Notre Dame, I mean I fell for the young guy, and we all do some things in our life that we wish we could have back or we regret. But like I said, when you're going to a prestigious school such as Notre Dame and being in the limelight such as him as was up for the Heisman or something like that, I think that you got to expect, and I've always said this, you got to take the good with the good and take the bad with the bad. And I think that, I've been a fan of his since he came on the scene playing football and, being catfished. I guess he's not the only one. So big ups to him, and I hope he keeps his head up. All right, Fish. Man, I still think about it. I still think about the loss in '07, and I can still say I haven't seen the game. I haven't watched the game of it yet. You know, And the only time I really watch the game is when we're doing film study of critiquing ourselves after a win or after a loss. And I go to, the coaches. I've always been coachable. I think there was some stuff out there earlier in my career that I'm not coachable, and I still don't know everything. But I think when it comes to player and coaches, sometimes the coaches got to sit their butts down and listen too, because they expect us to listen. We're out here playing. We're out here putting our lives on the line. So I think that, I've always been coachable. I love to be coached by a guy that loves to listen. You know, no, I probably wouldn't. I would probably love to watch it. I really do, but it's just something about '07. Being undefeated, going into a Super Bowl and losing it like that. It was something that I'll never forget that moment, because I was just telling these guys, man, it's not fun when you're sweating and you have confetti dropping down and sticking to your face, knowing that you're not on the winning side of that confetti. No, I think I'll still remember that, because if I win this one, that means I could have had two. So that's something I'll never forget.
Randy, what's the difference between having Jim Harbaugh as your coach as opposed to Bill Belichick?
Well, they both have their styles of coaching. I think that Coach Harbaugh, he does love to have fun. He has a lot of stories. Some are very, very comical, and then other are just pushing forward, keep striving. And Coach Belichick is very business oriented. He doesn't really show a lot of emotion. He prepares his guys and really doesn't crack a smile. So I think that the comparison between the two, if I could put it on, is Coach Belichick is really straightforward, and Coach Harbaugh sometimes gets off the road and keeps it a little humorous.
Does Belichick listen, like you said?
Yeah, Coach. Yeah, yeah. I think that it's not every coach. Not every coach is going to listen. Because certain coaches are stuck in their ways, and I'm not talking about any particular coach. I mean, if a certain coach has gotten up to this point to do it the way that he has done it, I think that they just do it their way. But this game has changed and evolved, like no other. That I think it's time for the coaches, and I'm talking about, you can take it down to high school even. These guys do watch us. They do train. And I think if coaches would take time to really talk to the players to see how they see it on the field, because if you're sitting up there watching the eye in the sky, or watching from afar to see what's going on, it might not be as easy as it looks, because football, I think, is a game of reaction and how you react to the play. So I think that you know, coaches should take times out to pick some of their players' brains, if not all of them.